اکنون از شخصیت علمی من جناب آقای علی نقی فارغ التحصیل از دانشگاه بورمونت انگلیس و مشاور ارشد امور مالی در اسکوشیا بانک خواهشمندیم تا به جایگاه تشریف آورده و بیانیه ایشان را تقدیم نمایند. خواهشمندیم ایشان را با ذکر صلواتی تا جایگاه همراهی بفرمایید.
Being Chindokhtaran comes with a responsibility. And what would that responsibility mean to you people, having lost your 5 most refined and courageous men? If it still does not mean a thing to you, then can you afford that the history be repeated upon you? As in the words of Winston Churchill, those who do not learn from the history are doomed to repeat it. الحقيقة التاريخ لا يعمل تاريخ رباية دوبارة تجربة. We learn from the history that the man is born in a regular town of Mazar Sharif, very much like the rest of us. We learn that he begins to develop himself with the knowledge acquired from the books and school, much like the rest of us. And then the knowledge gives him the ability to develop his friends around him. That is a practical step towards formation of national unity. If you would like to be a Abuzer to this man, if you would like to be the loyal companions, the Yarani Bawafa, then you and I must realize that action is hope, and without action, there is no hope. We must make the right choices in order to make the most out of time. As the sun rises every morning, what is your game plan? Now that you are in a country with one of the highest number of professionals, now that you are Canadian, proud Canadians, or becoming one, the resources are available to you just like everyone else. Again, I would like to reiterate that we are living in a very talented crowd and the competition is tough, but so are you, because you belong to Millat al-Qahraman. How many hours can you put in to ensure that you have a glorious career? To have a big house for your kids, to be able to run around freely? What is your vision at Tadbir Amal in order to create a legacy to support communities beyond your own family? As you need a skill set to network and hard work in order to master your craft and to be good enough to contribute to the prosperity and diversity of your own country, Canada. That would be a practical step towards the formation of national unity and working together. As Qahraman is to learn from the history, but not unaware to adapt in the present and in order to secure the future. We learn that Qahraman is to have a work ethic. We learn that Qahraman is to be the man of discipline, as it is your time to rise again. We learn from the history that a 1400-year-old conflict has been exported to your country, that has divided you, and that you fight for, a conflict that doesn't belong to you. It has rooted from somewhere else. Whereas we learn from we learn that an Italian and a German student who studies in England gets the same scholarship as an Englishman. They don't even need a visa to travel to each other's countries, like one of our fellow speakers mentioned, that Europe destroyed each other in the Second and First World War, but they learn from the history. And what are we doing? The business needs to flourish beyond the borders of Quetta, Helmand, Bamiyan, or Panjshir. The formula of hatred has failed us over generations. The formula of racist division based on religious fractioning has been experimented over years. It's completely failed us. What are we going to teach our children? The same formula? Or is it the time to accept each other? Like the man said, Ma hama baradarin. We are all brothers. When I was a child, they said there is a brave man who has taken a stand in the face of injustice, in the face of disorder and ignorance. And the revolt is not backing off, as it appears that the battle for the right of his people has become more important than his own luxury, a purpose bigger than his own life. And I ask, Father, who is he? Why do people have his picture up everywhere? And he replies, his name is Shahid Mazari, my son. And he has claimed that in a family, all the brothers and all the sisters have equal rights to father's attention, equal rights to motherly love. And he has taken a stand for equal constitutional rights in the homeland. A true gladiator. He's a husband to the murdered wife and a father to the murdered son. Has taken a stand for the woman's rights and taken action for brotherhood and the rule of justice. For we all inhabit this small planet, and we all breathe the same air, and we all cherish our children's future. We are all mortal. Hence we must take a stand for our rights, take a stand when we want to quit, to put in that extra hour to work on the areas of self-development. As according to Chinese philosophy, you cannot immediately change people. You must change yourself first. Speaking of which, I would like to address a stereotype about us, about our communities. As I hear that people say that the Afghans are very simple and sincere. I would agree to sincerity. लेकिन कि वो बसियार सादा मर्दुम अस्ते, इंजी हजार सवाल अस्ते. As a matter of self-reflection and self-realization, I would like to ask you all and myself a question, that the fact that we have been made to fight among brothers in the name of religious and political fractioning, the fact that we have been betrayed and played around, should we continue to think simple? Should we continue with the same approach of hatred and racism? Or enough is enough? As in the words of Jalaluddin Muhammad Rumi, who was a poet and philosopher, says, you become what you think. And in the words of Charles Darwin, it is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent, but the one that's the most adaptable to the change. And change is to accept each other. Is simplicity of thought going to work in our favor when competition for best jobs and industries favors the nations which are free-thinking and forward-looking, countries with creative, entrepreneurial citizens that are highly strategic thinkers? Is simplicity of mindset going to help our men and women when highly refined skills are expected from us to grow into successful businessmen, doctors, engineers, IT specialists, and politicians? As we have joined a country that expects talent, and with our active participation, will continue to grow and thrive. We must not forget that in becoming Canadian, we are expected to embrace the democratic principles such as the rule of law and loyalty to Canada as your homeland. Being loyal and worthy citizens to this country so that we do not get exploited by the foreign policies of outsiders. That way, we and our new generation will continue to live with honor. Honor is to be highly educated and trained professionals. When everyone gets educated, everyone will find their way. Seek light and seek knowledge and truth. For those who seek light will be able to show others the path. When you develop yourself, not only you, but people around you will benefit from your wisdom. If you would like to be held, you must open your arms. just like Mazari served his nation. We all know that for a man like him, it was easy to fly anywhere in the world and live a life for luxury. But he says, "Far from you, the life has no value for me. I have never wanted that I escape and leave you in the middle of crisis and dispute. I have wished that my blood pour beside you, and I die amongst you people." And I would like to conclude with the vision of Father, as he meant peace for the right of our future generations to a healthy existence, as he perceived to safeguard the people's interest, that is to safeguard the human interest, as in the elimination of war is in the interest of everyone, and we are not hopeless before that task. The fact that the problems have been created by men can be solved by men. Hence we should be confidently working not towards the strategy of destruction or annihilation, but towards the strategy of peace and brotherhood. بسیار تشکر.
با تشکر فراوان از جناب مشاور صاحب که با تسلط خاصی به زبان انگلیسی در مورد خودباوری روشنی انداختند.